So in today's video, I want to talk to you about the top 5 accessories that you should get for your DJI Avata, and also the top 5 accessories that I use every single time I'm out flying with this drone. So without further ado, let's get into the top 5 accessories that you need to get for your DJI Avata. So when I'm out flying with the Avata, I always look for the best spot to take off and land, and I used to catch it on the top and then just flip it to turn it off, but with the latest crash I had, I'm doing everything by the books, and because it sits so low to the ground, the propellers can also be damaged. And damaged propellers will have a huge impact on your flying experience and the safety of your drone. So I've been using a landing pad from Freewell when taking off and landing the DJI Avata. So why would you need a landing pad? If we take a look at the Avata right here, the flight controller and all the goodies sits right there. That means debris, wet grass and other things have clear access to potentially damage your drone. Using a landing pad, you can basically take off and land anywhere. If the grass is wet, you can still take off without worrying about anything. And the same if you're in the woods. I can't tell you how many times I've been picking up dead leaves and other things from the woods when I've been flying the Avata and taking off without a landing pad. And also, if you have some uneven ground, the pad will help you adjust that, and you can also use some small rocks to even out the ground and then place the landing pad on top of that to make everything level when you're going to take off and land your Avata. The good thing about any landing pads, it doesn't have to be the Freewell landing pad. You can get any type of landing pad and it doesn't matter which one you get. They are extremely cheap and you can basically make one your own if you want to do that. And some of the ones that you can purchase can actually be folded up so they don't take up any space at all. Now moving over to the next accessory which you must have when flying the Avata. This is ND filters. So why would you need ND filters? Now ND filters works as sunglasses for your drone, so it's basically just like us. We feel more comfortable when using sunglasses when the sun is shining, and so does the drone. In most situations, you want to fly and record videos during the golden hour or during the day. And mostly when it's nice and bright outside, which also makes the flying experience and not only the video you capture look better. Flying in bright conditions, you need to have ND filters if you want to have a good looking image. Without ND filters, you will not get that natural motion blur because your shutter will be out of the sky, and the only thing you'll get from that is an image which is way too sharp and contrasty. And let's say if you're completely new to drones, whether it's a normal or FPV drone, and you just want to focus on your flying and not changing the camera settings for each time you take a trip. It's always better to get some ND filters even for auto settings. It will help you keep the shutter speed down and you will have a much better image. I also have an in-depth comparison and tutorial on how to use the correct ND filter and how to get the best image using them. I will leave a link to that video down in the description below. Now with that said, moving over to number 3 over the accessories which you must have with your Avata, and this is the charging hub. Now owning the Avata, you can't just settle with one battery. It's way too fun and you'll run through the first battery in no time. And to be able to quickly charge all the batteries you have, you need a charging hub. The charging hub can take up to 4 batteries and charges each battery at a maximum 65 watts, which means your battery should be fully charged within 40 to 50 minutes. But from my experience, the batteries charges faster and it takes about 30 to 40 minutes to charge one battery. This is due to the fact that most of us will plug the battery at around 10 to 20%, which means it will charge from 20 to 100 or to 95, which I keep on seeing in my goggles when I plug them in about 30 minutes. And if you have any of the combos, the Fly Smart or the ProView combo, you also get a single charger. So using the single and the charging hub, you can charge 2 batteries at the same time. But to get the fastest charge, the charging hub charges much faster than the single charger. So that's also something to consider even if you only have 2 or 3 batteries. Now, talking about charging, accessory number 4, which is a must-have for your Avata. This is a power bank or a car charger. I highly suggest that you get both. I have the car charger from DJI and it's perfect. It charges at 65 watts, which is advertised, and I have no problems with it at all. I also use a power bank from Anker, which is the Anker PowerCore 3 Elite 25600. I've been using this for about 3 or 4 years now, and it's so good. It has a 87 watts USB-C output and charges the batteries at 64 watts. And with the power bank fully charged, I can charge all 4 batteries between 2 and 4 times, depending on how low the battery is. So that means I have 10 or more batteries to use for each trip, bringing only the Avata setup, the charging hub, and the power bank. So a power bank is definitely a must-have with your Avata. Now, moving over to accessory number 5. This is the last must-have accessory for the DJI Avata. Bring some spare propellers, put some in your car, some in your bag, and make sure you always have access to a set of propellers. If you're not using a landing pad, there's a greater chance for your propellers to get damaged. I've already replaced all 4 of my propellers once. So basically, after removing the props to clean the Avata, things went a little bit too fast, and when I got to the location where I was filming the penetration test, I started the Avata, attempted to fly, but I had placed a different propeller on a different motor. So the result of that was the propellers picking up gravel, and 2 of the propellers got quite some damage to them, so I ended up driving all the way back home to replace them for them to drive back up and shoot the penetration test. So spare propellers is definitely something you need to have laying around. A set of props, 1 for each motor, is only $9 anyway, so I recommend getting a pack or 2. So there you have my top accessories, which I also use with my Avata. Links to everything will be down below. Now, I hope you found this video helpful, and if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button for more. And if you enjoyed the video, consider giving it a like for the algorithm. That would be appreciated. And don't forget to check out my signature LUTs down in the description below and get 25% off for a limited time. And if you want to test some of the signature LUTs for free, there will also be a link to that down in the description below. So that's everything for today, and as always, thanks for tuning in, and I will see you in the next video.